Let's get it. Let's go. Welcome to Athens, Ohio. Our site today, Pruitt Field for Mid-American Conference Field Hockey on ESPN+. Today we have the Kent State Golden Flashes against the Ohio Bobcats. Two teams trying to push their way into the MAC tournament alongside the former Northeastern field hockey standout, Becca Gaddy. My name is Sam Hyman. Becca, what are the keys to the game powered by Go Marts?
I think that both teams really need to find success in their attacking 25, rip those shots, but also be disciplined and find those goal-scoring opportunities.
Let's take a look at our players to watch. First, for Kent State, Ava Uzos, 6 goals, 6 assists on the season, the MAC Freshman of the Year last year.
Yeah, 6 goals, 6 assists. That's a distributor and a goal scorer. I mean, you want someone like that on the field for you.
For the Ohio Bobcats, 65th career start for Bodie Littlefield, who can play just about everywhere on the field.
Yeah, it's nice to have that versatile player, and she'll be really, really vital to the Ohio's success today against Kent State.
Kent State is 3-2 in MAC play. Ohio is 2-3. 3 teams have already punched their ticket into the MAC tournament. These 2 teams trying to inch closer to that. When we come back, we'll get things started on ESPN+ here in Athens. Cool. Good. Good job.
How'd I do, guys?
Great. Great.
Fantastic.
It was really good to practice too.
Yeah.
Get to.
So that's our open,
Yeah.
and then they'll play that.
Yeah, they'll play that at the beginning.
Cool.
And then let me. This is kind of.
I don't think I stuttered, so that was good.
You didn't. When we come back, are we going to potentially put the starters up, or? Last time I did field hockey, we were wearing Kent State first. When we come back live, we're going to put up the starters for both teams. By the way, this right here, I know it's a little high. Yeah. This is what's on the broadcast.
Jansen. The head coach for the Golden Flashes is Heather Hefner, who is assisted by Kieran Minton and Lizzie Hamlet. And now, the starting lineup for your Ohio Bobcats. A sophomore from Fredericksburg, Virginia, number 2, Natalie Leclerc.
I didn't know she was from Fredericksburg.
A senior from Antwerp, Belgium, number 3, Noah Desmarais.
Find blue there. Find blue there.
A senior from Oakland, number 4, Bodie Littlefield.
Put red in there, Colin.
A senior from Haarlem, the Netherlands, number 7, Merle Cow.
Red in there.
A sophomore from St. Louis, Missouri, number 13, Annie Ryan. A junior from Johannesburg, South.
So we coming back. We'll get things started.
by Louisa Body, Frankie O'Brien, and Mariano Berthistle.
No, this is a break.
We now ask that you please rise a people and place the flag as Quinn Duquette sings our national anthem.
It's a break.
Appreciate it.
Whose was bright and bright stars through Thank you. And we welcome you back to Pruitt Field, Kent State and Ohio. Back with Becca Gaddy. My name is Sam Hyman. Kent State 4-10 overall, 3-2 in conference play, coming off a very impressive win over Central Michigan, 7-3, a season high 7 goals. As we take a look at the starting lineup for the Golden Flashes, in cage, Lieve Jansen, a freshman from the Netherlands. She took over the starting job early on in the season. And Coach Hefner said she's a gamer. She wants that pressure, and she's been able to step in and has ran away with the starting job in goal.
Yeah, that's a great opportunity for a freshman goalkeeper, getting that experience. That's what you want. So you have her for these next 3 years, and she's already has that experience. It's going to be amazing for her.
Golden Flashes rocking the white uniforms today. Meanwhile, the Bobcats in the green and white. Their starting goalie is Macy Lotz, the graduate student from Louisville, Kentucky. Natalie LaFleur and Sasha DiCatla, 2 other names on your screen there in the starting lineup for the Bobcats that will play up top at the forward spot. They're going to need to be aggressive. Coach Johnstone challenged both of them in practice this week to be more aggressive.
Yes, it's going to be very important that they just rip those shots. Less worried about what is in front of them, the defenders, the goalie. Just make those opportunities happen, whether it's going to be causing penalty corners or they're going to be causing rebounds that can be second and third goal opportunities. So it's going to be very important for Ohio in the circle today.
Ohio is 2-3 in conference play, 5-8 overall. And again, these 2 teams are trying to push their way into the MAC tournament. If the season ended today, both teams would be in the MAC tournament. 3 teams have already clinched a spot in the conference tournament in early November: James Madison, App State, and Miami. Now 6 teams get in the MAC tournament as opposed to 4, so both of these teams have a great chance to play in November.
The MAC is just becoming so competitive. It already was, but with the addition of James Madison, which is, a team that I played against in conference play when they were in the CAA, they are so talented, and Christy Morgan is she's a veteran coach. She knows what she's doing with her players, and it's really great to have someone like that in the MAC to increase the competitiveness.
We are underway at Pruitt Field. The Bobcats and the Golden Flashes, these 2 teams played a very intense and exciting game last year
Ohio won 3-2, and Sasha DeCotla scored the game-winning goal in the 59th minute of that contest last season. Ohio snapped a 12-game losing streak against Kent State with that win last season. As we take a look at Ohio working it from the back, Anouk Plan, the center back, one of the top players on this team. Here is Emily Risser navigating down the left channel, the junior from Pennsylvania. Risser sends it back to Anouk Plan, the junior from Germany. Coach Johnstone talks tirelessly about Anouk, how she's just an absolute beast out there on the field, and gets this Ohio team organized starting from the back and building up towards the attacking third. Ohio entering the circle now near that baseline, but Kent State takes it away. And the Golden Flashes look to make something happen in transition around midfield. Nifty dribbling. Bodie Littlefield takes it away for the Bobcats.
That was great defense by Anouk right there. You know, being ready and good back tackle.
Here's Natalie LaFleur, the sophomore from Fredericksburg, Virginia. Back to Emily Risser, and now Anouk Plan, who is tied for the team's lead in goals with 4.
Ohio's outlet is being very patient. You know, they're not forcing anything into the attacking 25. You know, there was a little ball handling error right there, but really moving the ball around, creating those open opportunities, that's going to be very important, especially going into the circle.
When we talked to Allie Johnstone, 7th-year head coach here at Ohio, she said the message in practice this week, we are demanding more of ourselves. Don't be content with being mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
And that discipline word, we're going to continue to revisit how disciplined Ohio is in this game.
Mm-hmm. You just missed an aerial that was actually called because it went into 2 people. And it was what we were talking about earlier, aerials. Those are going to be an important skill to have.
Here's Emily Beitzel creeping towards the baseline, draws 2 defenders, and knocked away. Well done on defense.
Mm-hmm. Preventing the circle entries. Kent State's doing that, doing a good job of that right now. Most of the play has been in their offensive half, their defensive half, but they haven't allowed a lot of circle entries from Ohio.
Ohio building something into the attacking third. Kent State, physical play right on that yard line. Kent State will have a free hit.
This would be a good outletting opportunity for Kent State. Get it out of their defensive 50 and get the ball up like they just did now. That was a great outlet, way to find that space.
Augustina Florio navigates down the left side, feeds it into the circle, shut down Mila Kopp, the graduate student from Louisville.
Great defensive play by her, being ready, stick down in front of her player, anticipating that pass into the circle.
Yeah, because it looked like just a moment we were going to see something offensively develop for Kent State. Augustina Florio, 4 goals on the season. The senior from Argentina, definitely someone to pay attention to in addition to Ava Uzos, who is the team's leader in both goals and assists. 6 goals and 6 assists. If that goes off of Marissa Skinner's stick.
That was a great find by by the defender, the Kent State defender. Unfortunate ball handling error, but, what a great pass, what a great look to split that defense.
Kent State coming off a 7-3 win on Friday against Central Michigan. Ohio has had a week to prepare for Kent State. Their last match came on Sunday, a week ago, against Penn State. And Coach Johnstone said that we did a solid job despite the loss working on our outlets and press shape, building from the back. So even though they lost to a top team, Penn State 5-0, 17th ranked team in the country, they were trying to do some things to get them prepared for this game against Kent State.
It's great to play against, teams like Penn State. They've really allow you, the way that they set up their play, their press, their outlet, really allows you to practice what you need to work on. And I mean, it's always great to play good competition. They can only make you guys better. And I think that it's great to do it during conference season as well.
Yeah, to sort of incorporate and sprinkle in that occasional non-conference matchup as Augustina Florio battling around midfield with the Bobcats. It's been a competitive start to this first quarter. Ohio and Kent State doing battle. Both of these teams, if the regular season ended today, they'd be in the MAC tournament. Top 6 teams get in.
That's a great change, you know, not just top 4, but top 6. Really allows a lot of
Augustina Florio has it poked away. Nice work from Anouk Plan.
Yeah.
That is crafty stick work.
Definitely. And in the middle of the field like that, in your defensive 25, that's scary.
Yeah.
And so being able to be calm on the ball right there, that was really impressive by Anouk.
Emily Risser to restart here for the Bobcats, the junior from Pennsylvania. Last year, 14 starts. This year, now her 14th start today. So has been a pivotal part of this team in the back line for Allie Johnstone. Kent State trying to cook something up again.
Yeah, Kent State's really taking control of the possession game here. Hasn't really been back into their defensive 25 in a while since the beginning of this quarter. They're doing a good job of keeping the defense high and forcing Ohio to stay in their defensive 50 and get into the circle. Look at the circle entry.
Right in front, and Macy Lotz protecting the best she possibly can.
We've got a penalty corner. This will be exciting to see what Kent State has for their penalty corner.
Yeah, one thing that Heather Hefner, first-year head coach at Kent State, she told us that she wants her team to be more aggressive and develop these penalty corners. And it will be interesting to see what happens after Kent State had a season-high 7 goals last time out. As we take another look, just briefly, that tail end of what ultimately was called a penalty corner. We will see Bella Carpenter insert from the baseline, and it looks like the stick stopper for Kent State is number 20, Arden Goddard Despot.
I've actually got 2, 20 and 25.
Wow.
So that's important because then you don't know exactly who the ball is going to be going to.
That's a great point.
Yeah. That's that fake stick stop. It's important important setup.
Really tight in front of the cage. Augustina Florio.
Great defense right there.
Ohio able to stand off the penalty corner from Kent State. It was Augustina Florio who took the shot. And now Ohio will build from the back again, a new plan.
I mean, Ohio's ability to turn the ball and just get it out of the circle where there's no Kent State players is just amazing. That was great. You know, really got Ohio out of trouble. There's a lot of people in the circle right there. The defense was really ready and really on point.
Ohio makes a switch. Zoe Collins checks into the game as Sasha DeCotla navigates the baseline, still creeping close in towards the goalie. And it's Kent State possession. Nifty dribbling, though, from DeCotla on that baseline.
Yeah, I mean, I think that what could help there is, finding someone at we look for the dog tail, or that's kind of what they say, someone right there to pass that ball off so you're not going right into the goalie. You kind of fake them out. Goalie's off of the line, and that's how you get them around and somebody else to take that shot than Sasha, who did a great job taking the baseline. So having that option would be great for them, and it really puts the defense on their heels when you do that.
Merla Call on the restart and flicks that one out for a Kent State possession. A couple of fouls, though, on Kent State right there to give Ohio a restart from the top of the attacking third. Merla Call settling with it on the far sideline. One of the biggest takeaways for this Kent State team, again, it's a new era with first-year head coach Heather Hefner
She said so far this season, it's all about the process. We're trying to win, but we know that it's important to just slowly build that foundation as a team that has had a winning record in the MAC since every year since 2011. So they've been a winning program now under first-year head coach Heather Hefner.
Historically, Kent State is a powerhouse in the MAC for field hockey. They've had, you know, plenty of championships, plenty of all-MAC players, really a lot of standouts. And so it'll be interesting to see how this team develops under their new coach and how she continues that historical legacy of success in the MAC.
Yeah, last season, Kent State made it all the way to the MAC championship and lost to Miami. Ohio also made the MAC tournament and nearly beat Miami in the MAC semifinals. As Kent State gets the ball back, Marissa Skinner tracks it down here for the Golden Flashes, the freshman from Dexter, Michigan, a three-time state champion out of Dexter High School. Zoe Collins with it for Ohio. Sophie Vanderwall checking into this game, driving near the baseline.
That was a great baseline drive. And, you know, those are the opportunities we were talking about earlier, just as simple as getting a foot, you know, to get set up on these penalty corners. Because it really is nice to have this set opportunity. These are, you know, these are like chess plays.
Yeah.
These are these are fun. You know, you never really get this kind of free shot at the top of the circle that's all set up. You know, but I'm also really excited to see this defensive penalty corner by Kent State. You know, head coach Allie Johnstone from Ohio, she told us they are very, very gritty. They are a good defensive penalty corner crew, and I'm really excited to see the two crews go up against each other.
Yeah, Kent State top 10 nationally in defensive penalty corner percentage. Stick stopper there. That's Bodie Littlefield, and she soars that one wide.
What a great setup, though, and way to be ready for that tip. You know, those are going to fall. If you're ready every time and you're doing those, sometimes they're going to go wide, but really that's a great place to be set up on a corner. And that was a really well constructed corner. It was done well. It was a great sweep, and it was simple. And it was quick, too. So I think that did not allow Kent State to get set up or, you know, react. The reaction time wasn't there because of how quick they took the corner.
And a whistle foul, it looks like, on Ohio. Kent State ball as Mila Kopp returns for the Bobcats.
Oh, what a hit.
And here is Mila Kopp. Right place, right time. She comes right back onto the field.
Mm-hmm. That's a great place to be as a defender. You know, you know, as a defender, you don't want to just be on your player. You want to be in the space they are in so you can step into that and not even allow them to receive the ball. And so she did a really great job of that there, being ready. And that will be great for Ohio's defense going forward today.
Nice stick work here from Natalie LaFleur, the sophomore, with 3 goals on the season, making her 14th start of the 2024 campaign. Gives it off to Bodie Littlefield. Little two-person game right now on the near sideline. Still Ohio ball. Bodie Littlefield, we highlighted her at the top of the broadcast. She can play just about every position and can play every position in the same game. That's how versatile she is, whether it is the backfield, the forward line, or the midfield.
Yeah, and that's great to have. You know, that means that she has a wide skill set. She can be calm on the ball in the backfield. She's got those skills and that speed in the midfield, but she also can play up top and take those shots and create goal-scoring opportunities for Ohio. And that's what you want in a player. You know, you don't want players to be complacent. You want them to be able to be effective and efficient on every part of the field.
Here's a shot from up top, deflected by Ohio. Merla Call right there. Addie Basil, freshman from Delaware
into this game for Ohio as well. Number 17 in the green and white, her 10th game of the season. Arden Goddard Despot swings it into the back for Lauren Conroy. Lauren Conroy playing that center back position. She is a big reason why Kent State has success on defense, according to Heather Hefner, the head coach. In front, and a foul.
So I believe that foul was because they didn't take it 5 yards before entering the circle. I'm not sure on that one. Didn't see what happened in the circle, but I believe that's what it was. Because you do need to move a certain amount before you can't just hit it straight in at a certain part on the field. So, but I am impressed with Kent State's outlet. You know, their sweeps, their hits, they're smooth. They've got intention with their passes, and they're having a little trouble getting past their midfielders are getting past our defense, but it's there and it will work for them if they continue doing what they're doing.
Almost 30 seconds remaining in this first half, or first quarter, I should say, between Ohio and Kent State. First 15 minutes of action. About 15 seconds remain in the first quarter between Ohio and Kent State. Both teams have a shot on goal. Both teams have a penalty corner attempt, but no goals so far.
It's been pretty balanced throughout, I would say. Different kinds of possession, but we've seen possession on both sides. We've seen attacking on both sides, defending. So there's no one of the two teams are dominating, I would say. And I think that this is going to be a very tight match, and it's going to come down to who can capitalize on those scoring opportunities. And it's not going to be an easy goal. It's going to be a second, third opportunity, second, third rebound kind of thing. So
yeah, we're going to take a quick break and come back for the second quarter on the other side. No score between Ohio and Kent State here in Athens. Okay, thank you.
thanks.
All right, that went by quickly.
Yeah, it did.
Welcome back to Pruitt Field. Ohio and Kent State scoreless through one quarter of play. The first 15 minutes in the books. Back with Becca Gaddy. My name is Sam Hyman. Thanks for being with us on ESPN Plus. Both teams have a penalty corner attempt. Both teams with a shot on goal. What have you noticed so far from the way this match has gone in the first 15 minutes?
It's a very even match. There's a lot, that both teams are doing well. I think that neither of them are getting into the circle as much as they want to, based on what we talked about with the coaches prior to the game. I think that they probably both want to see more circle entering opportunities, shots on goal, or shots, and anything that can result in a goal scoring opportunity. There's been a lot of play in the 50s, and and a lot of outletting in the 50s, not as much entering. And I think that that's something that they can both improve on, and hopefully we'll see a little bit more action in the circle.
Kent State wearing the white uniforms today. Ohio, the all green and white numbered uniforms. Bobcats attacking the left side. Kent State the right side as Mila Kopp feeds it to Sasha DeKotla. Sasha DeKotla was the hero in this matchup last season. She scored the game-winning goal in the 59th minute to uplift Ohio to a 3-2
That's a great
win.
pass right there.
Noah Desmarais in front, and a shot goal for Ohio. Natalie LaFleur on the back door, her first goal in about a month's time, 4th of the season, and it's 1-0 Bobcats.
That was a fantastic play. We had this outlet from Ohio all the way up, and the way that Ohio's forward received the ball on the move and taking it towards the circle, it was so amazing. Didn't ever stop the speed of the play. It kept going, and we didn't have just one, but 2 Ohio forwards ready in the circle with their sticks down, ready to get that shot. And that's the best. That's the way that we're going to score. Is those, kind of those fast break opportunities, and so capitalizing on that will be very, very important this game.
And that's exactly what we were talking about earlier, the aggressive play of both Natalie LaFleur and Sasha DeKotla at the forward position. Sasha credited with the assist, her 2nd assist of the season, and Natalie LaFleur, as we take another look here, with that one touch from DeKotla, and Natalie LaFleur on the back door scores. So what a moment. Coach Johnstone challenged both of those student athletes to be aggressive, let it fly.
Yeah, I mean, their feet never stop their feet from moving, and it's a numbers up situation. That's the best opportunity you can get, because when you're in set numbers with marking and everything, you can't find that space. You can't find the back door, which is what who is it? Sophie, who had the
Sasha DeKotla had the assist, and
Natalie
scored.
got Natalie's goal. She found that back door. She was ready. Nobody's on her, and that's the opportunity you want to get, where you were taking advantage of the numbers up situation.
They are reviewing the goal, it looks like. It's under an official review right now, so we'll see what happens, but it looked like a pretty clean sequence. I didn't see anything that would deem
I'm
that.
wondering if maybe they thought there was a foot or something of the sort. Maybe it was Sasha's foot instead of her stick, but I'm not sure. It looked pretty clean to me.
So if that ball did hit Sasha's foot, then it could be a.
Or if it was something that happened before they entered the circle, and that wasn't called. It could be a number of things. Field hockey, you've got that ball, and anything can happen. With mishandling a ball, it's so easy for the ball to hit your foot, and that's why when I was talking to you earlier about keeping your stick down, that's not only to receive the ball to get those shots, but it's to protect your feet as well.
Yeah. Does Sasha hit that with her stick or her foot there?
That's what I'm guessing they're looking for.
It looked like it may have hit her foot.
Or maybe the backside of her stick. Maybe there's it could be a couple of things that they're looking at.
And that's so tough to see. Great job by our crew here, slowing it down.
Mm-hmm.
And here is Noah Desmarais' pass. It's hard to tell if Sasha hit it with her stick, and if she did, it may have just been accidental. But it worked
if it hit
out.
her, it's hard to tell if it hit her at all. I mean, I didn't even think it touched her at first before looking at that.
Yeah, it may have just skipped right through her.
Yeah, an unintentional fake by Sasha.
Yeah,
That's
just a deke.
But based on her celebration, I'm thinking that it didn't hit anything.
Yeah. So.
Oh, it looks like they called the goal back.
Wow. So they called the goal back, and that would then mean that it hit Sasha's foot?
If that's what it
probably?
was, I'm guessing based on the replay, that's what they were looking at. Or it hit her shin guard.
Well, that's a
You
big
know,
call.
It's a big call.
Definitely.
And, you know, I didn't want to say it first, but I thought it may have hit her foot.
Right there. Look at that angle. Great angle.
You know what? It may have hit the back.
The
is that
backside of the stick.
backside of her stick. It looks
Yeah.
like.
Wow. So Allie Johnstone is obviously frustrated after this call gets reversed. And rightfully so, because that is such a close call.
And you know, but this is one of the uncontrollables: is the officiating. You know.
So it hit number 3's foot. It hits Noah DeMaray's foot when
Yeah.
she was going into the attacking
Yes,
third at the
that's
23
see,
meter
that's
mark.
the other thing I was mentioning. I was like, it might have been something before that, because of how Kent State was reacting.
And now Kent State trying to counter, but
You know, and you know, this obviously is not an ideal situation. You're very excited about the goal,
Right.
but this is going to happen, and this is the sport, but now they know that they can do that.
right.
You know, they can make those passes, they can make those receptions on the move and take those fast breaks and have those players in the circle. So it's not hard to replicate. You can't replicate a situation, but you can replicate the skill and being ready. And I think that's while it didn't count, it was a great goal to see and see Ohio being able to do something like that.
So Natalie LaFleur's goal is wiped off because of a foot foul on Noah DeMaray right around the 23 meter mark. And we are still scoreless here in the second quarter between the Bobcats and the Golden Flashes.
Got an aerial right there.
Now that was from Mila Kopp. Here's Sasha DeKotla navigating the baseline. Pass in front to LaFleur.
Oh.
Emily Beitzel can't track it down. Ohio, though, continuing to cook up some things inside the circle.
That was a great opportunity. And things aren't going to be perfect in the circle. You don't need to turn around and get the perfect pass. You know, they did their best to try to get it towards the goal. It fell off the stick, but, I mean, another great opportunity from the baseline going towards the goal, pulling the goalie off their line to create those opportunities right in front of the goal. That's why the baseline is so important, because it really forces the goalie to come in onto a different line and create the space that the defense has to make up for behind them. So if you're able to get that pass to take them, take the ball off that line, take it around, and get a shot in the front while the goalie's still facing this way, or maybe or making that transition back to the front, that's a great opportunity.
Ava Uzos trying to get inside the circle. Kent State putting some pressure on the Bobcats, but great work by Merla Call and Ohio.
I would like to see some different entry points by both teams going into the circle. It seems both teams are really utilizing that baseline, which is great, but I think that there can be so much congestion there. And doing this, coming from the top of the circle.
Wow, great.
What a great
find.
pass.
Bodie
And
Littlefield just out of reach for Sasha.
I mean, that was a beautiful pass, but that's what I'm talking about is that, let's change the plane that the ball is on. Let's not just go on the same thing, because then the defense is ready for that. You want to take it into more open space and force the defense to cover more open space. Force them to communicate, and the more space that you have working with, the better options you have cutting in, whether it's your forwards cutting into spots for you to get a tip or sending the ball into the circle.
There's an aerial that's knocked down by Merla Call and Ohio. Call navigating for Bodie Littlefield now.
Little mishap right there, but
And this is Emma Seeger who slots it ahead. Nice footwork and stick work there from Augustina Florio.
yeah.
But possession awarded to the Bobcats.
Ohio was lucky to be in a numbers up situation there, because that could have been a really scary situation. But I think that both teams are maybe getting a little sloppy right now. Need to take a little bit better care of the ball. reset, take a step back. It doesn't have to be full force, towards everything all the time. Take a look at what the field is showing you. Where can you break the press? What spots are open?
Here's Emily Beitzel, and that goes out. Ohio will maintain possession here on this free hit. The Bobcats 5-8 overall, 2-3 in conference play. Their 2 wins coming against Bellarmine and Longwood. And this team coming off a solid season last year where they nearly knocked off Miami in the MAC semifinals. Sophie Vanderwall attacks the baseline in front. Here's a shot, and that soars wide.
That
Great
was a
effort,
great
though.
shot, though. And how quick she was able to get that shot off, the change onto her reverse side, and the very little backswing she had on it, but still get that power on it. I very impressed with that because, again, it's not all about shot selection. It's about sometimes just getting it towards the goal because you have no idea what's going to fall, who's going to be there to hit that in or follow up, or if the goalie is off on their heels. Especially getting that shot near the top of the circle, too.
That was Marie de Grand who took the shot, the freshman from Belgium, who has a goal this season. Here's Mila Kopp. Delivers it ahead to Sasha DiCatla. Mila Kopp has definitely been all over that back line for the Bobcats today. Coach Johnstone said that Mila is incredibly consistent and does everything in her power to make this team better.
It's really important to have someone like that in the backfield. She's a level-headed leader, leads by action, not exactly by words. But knowing that you have that, it makes your goalie comfortable, makes the people in front of you comfortable, makes the coach happy and comfortable. And the best defenders are those type of people. They have to be, they see the entire field. And they're the last line of defense before the goalie. So you want someone with that kind of head on their shoulders to do that and be there in that position.
Here's Deborah James, the freshman from England. Slots it back to Anouk Plan. Ohio most recently had a goal wiped off due to a foot foul on Noah Desmarais here in the second quarter. And these two teams know the magnitude of this game, a very winnable game for both sides. There are 3 teams that already have clinched a spot in the MAC tournament: James Madison, Miami, and App State. Nice stick work there from Emily Beitzel, but here comes Kent State. Madison Leedy doing some good work with her stick. On a free hit here, Sophie Livingston. Kent State threatening as this is threaded to Livingston. A kick save by Macy Lotz.
It's a good save.
Maya Sarabairus attacks that baseline and dribbles it out. Stays with Kent State as we look at that kick save from Macy Lotz. And Kent State will have a penalty corner coming up.
Something I'm noticing is that in Ohio's lineup, whether it's on their...
They're going to review this call, which was initially ruled a penalty corner for the Golden Flashes.
There's this space that Ohio has in between their midfield line and their defense, this big space. I think they really need to decrease. They need to make it smaller. It's providing too much dribble space for Kent State, but it's also on the opposite side, not on the press, but on the outlet. The defense is all they're seeing is white. All they're seeing is the Kent State players. Ohio needs people checking into the pockets. They need people, moving whether it's just to move Kent State around or if it's, just to do these small passes. It doesn't have to be a big, great pass in these outlets, but just to make your way up the field. It's hard to do that when you have this space in between your midfield line and your defense. And so I think that's been hurting Ohio a little bit this past couple minutes. And allowing Kent State the opportunity to dribble with the ball, gain, without being pressured.
Right now, again, they are reviewing the penalty corner that was called. Kent State has one penalty corner attempt so far. Coach Hefner really emphasized how they need to get more of those in order to find success. As we look at the Ohio side right now, Merla Call doing a lot of the talking. Coach Johnstone and Ohio. Allie is in her 7th season as the head coach of the Bobcats. She played here at Ohio University, member of the Kermit Blosser Ohio Athletics Hall of Fame. Well-traveled as well during her pro hockey career. Her pro field hockey career consists of playing and traveling to Australia, South Africa, Argentina, and Europe. So she's well-traveled.
And it's funny because Allie and I actually share something, and that is our head coach in college. Shelly Morris, who coached here at Ohio, is a Northeastern alum, and she returned her alma mater as a coach and coached me while I was playing there. So it's fun that, Allie and I share the same head coach at 2 different schools, 2 different times. And it's just a little fun fact to have.
Yeah.
It's a small world, the field hockey world. And I was telling Sam how I know I know a former head coach at Kent State, and I know a former head coach at Ohio. Coach Shelly Morris being the former coach at Ohio, and then Carrie DeVries being the former Kent State head coach, who actually coached me at the club level, and I played with her daughter Charlotte. And so it's a small world. It's fun, and it's just it's a great group of people to be around.
Yeah, no, very, very cool to hear about those connections. And we saw a moment ago the head coach for Kent State, Heather Hefner, who takes over in her first year. And she previously served as an assistant coach at Liberty University since 2018, a 2021 national championship appearance. So she has come from some winning programs, also as a volunteer assistant at Delaware. And they were
2
the
very,
CAA
very
champs.
successful schools, very disciplined programs, very successful programs. And that's great for this coach. And coming into Kent State, who also has historically been a successful program, I think that she will do very well here with the Golden Flashes. And,
They just overruled the penalty corner here. So, Becca, we have
oh my gosh, I
a
haven't seen one of
standoff
these
here.
in a while.
Yeah,
It's I can't even remember the name. It's
like a jump ball in basketball.
yes, I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's been so long. They used to do it in like Pee Wee field hockey. That's how you would start the game. Was the
That should
can't
determine
even
whose possession it
remember.
is.
yeah. But yeah, it's like you said, it's just like a jump ball. I haven't seen that in so long.
That's wild. So they were unable to determine, I guess, the final decision on whether it was indeed a penalty corner or not. Deborah James in the backfield flips it to Emily Risser. We're still scoreless here. Approaching the 25th minute in the second quarter right now. Nice job by Lauren Conroy. Kent State picked 4th in the MAC preseason poll this season. Ohio picked 5th. Here comes a shot that trickles out and knocked away by Macy Lotz. That was Madison Leedy who took the shot. And it's Ohio possession. Mila Kopp returns for the Bobcats on this free hit. Quickly sweeps it over to Anouk Plan, who's tied for the team's leading goals with 4. And it trickles out. And here's Arden Goddard Despot to restart.
This has been a very interesting game to watch. We knew this was going to be competitive. And it's proven to be that way. It's going to be, to the very last second, it could be a situation just like last year where it comes to the one goal being scored, because these teams are challenging each other in the midfield, and they're not, they're getting more circle entry opportunities than they were in the first quarter, but not many, and so when you're not getting, not getting those, it's hard to score, obviously, because you can only
Right,
score
yeah.
in the circle. But both teams are working very hard and doing some great things, and they're just challenging each other. But that's what conference play is all about.
Yeah, you knew this was going to be a battle, especially after the 3-2 win for Ohio last season over Kent State. Kent State is 3-2 in conference play this season. Ohio is 2-3, and the Golden Flashes pretty darn prepared for conference play. They had a really challenging non-conference schedule. Here's Noah Desmarais, approaches that baseline for the Bobcats. Nice cut back. Marie DeGrand swiveling through. That does go in, but it's called off by the officials.
Well, see, that's in a situation where I remember in college where you let it play. You let it play through. And there they called in Ohio's favor, but it could have been a goal for us. And so it's, as an official, deciding whether or not and it's hard because you get yelled at for not calling things. You get yelled at for calling things. So it's which way you want to go for it. But that's a situation where you let the play go. You let it go because that's a goal scoring opportunity. And while a penalty corner is also a great opportunity, that can be a bit frustrating. Let them play.
A couple of things have been a bit frustrating for Ohio in this first half. That goal from Natalie Lafleur that got called off because of a foot foul, and then here this situation that does result in a penalty corner attempt for the Bobcats, but Marie DeGrand nearly put it in the cage. Or did, but it got called off. Here's Mila Kopp. That's tipped in front by Noah Desmarais. But Kent State survival mode, protecting the cage, and we remain scoreless.
That was a great sweep. Kent State's goalie was in perfect position there. Really did not allow any kind of opportunities for Ohio's tippers there.
That was Liv Jansen, who, again, took over the starting job earlier this season. She was in really good position, like you said.
I think that, in those situations, the tippers for Ohio need to focus on their hips and where their hips are facing, because that's what allows you to get that ball past that goalie on those tipping opportunities. When you're standing in front of them, they're right there. So it's hard, and I think that if you open up your hips when you're receiving that, that beautiful sweep to tip that in, that really allows the ball to come past you and get behind the goalie instead of going right into their pads. So
Arden got her despot. And now Ava Uzos with a really powerful pass. Back to Ohio, though.
Kent State's front line needs to be ready for that. Those are great passes, and if you can receive those well and take those on the move, that's dangerous.
And that's coming from Ava Uzos, who leads this team with 6 assists, making her 15th start of the season, the 2023 MAC Freshman of the Year, sophomore from Madrid, Spain. Brings a ton of knowledge from the international side to stateside here.
That's another great hit. And it's unfortunate Ohio wasn't in position. And, but Kent State's defense was ready for that. And that was great positioning by their defense.
Wow, nifty dribbling from Ava Uzo. She threads it to Sophia Livingston, but out of her reach.
Both teams are doing some really great things, but it's unfortunate they're not finishing through their plays. There's a lot of ball handling issues. It just coming off your stick. Maybe you're not fully ready for it. So I think that after talking to Coach Johnstone, and when she said be disciplined, that's something that they can think about when being disciplined. Is my stick down? Am I ready at all times for these passes? Because it's unfortunate that all these great passes are being sent out, but they're not really producing anything from it on both sides of the teams.
Emma Seeger attacking the baseline, flips it up to maintain, and that's tipped in. Goal for Kent State. Augustina Florio with her 5th goal of the season, right on the front doorstep for the Golden Flashes, and it's 1-0. I think she hit it off of Macy Lotz. Lotz may have gotten a deflection on that.
You know, lots of in a tough situation there.
And the officials are going to head over and review this immediately.
Yeah, I think, you know, when it's a kind of we call it a gross goal, gross play, like something that's not pretty. You have to check that because feel like you could hit off the stick, it could hit off. It's just so much going on in that circle.
Right.
And Lotz was in an unfortunate situation because I did not see her to vendor there in front of that player. It looks like maybe people jumped too far onto the player who was handling the ball and left Lotz kind of in a 1v1 situation there. We'll have to take a look back to really see if that was what it was, but you always want to have, you know, there should have been another defender on Lotz's left side there for her. And it looks like people were recovering back for that, but it's, you know, it's
tough.
Unfortunate. You know, Lotz did what she could there. I think maybe there could have been better communication by Ohio's defense and Lotz.
Here's another look at it. Emma Seeger was possessing it on the baseline.
Yeah, so see, it looks like Emily Beitzel, she was in recovery, and she wasn't in front of her player, the forward, the Kent State forward, and so really that gave that player all the opportunity in the world. Even if it hadn't deflected like that, she could have received it, taken it, and had that open shot right there. So it's
the goal's going to stand for Kent State. So Augustina Florio with her 5th goal of the season, and the Golden Flashes building some momentum now. After that 7-3 win over Central Michigan on Friday, they take the lead 1-0. And if you're Ohio right now, there's definitely a lot of frustration because there have been a couple of moments in this game where they definitely have had plenty of opportunities. So we have reached halftime. Towards the they were reviewing that, and I believe that was at the last moment before halftime. So we are at intermission here at Pruitt Field, and it is 1-0 Kent State. Halftime comes your way right after this on ESPN+. We are back here at Pruitt Field. The water cannons are out in full effect here in Athens, Ohio. Halftime, and Kent State leads 1-0 over Ohio in this Mid-American Conference matchup. Looking at some of the numbers so far from that first half, both of these teams very evenly matched coming into today, but it's Kent State with 4 shots on goal. They were able to capitalize in the final seconds of that first half. Augustina Florio scored her 5th goal of the season off of a tip. Emma Seeger navigated that baseline and was able to put it close to Florio, who scored, and that is the difference right now. Kent State leads 1-0 over Ohio. The Bobcats have had plenty of opportunities. Noah Desmarais and Bodie Littlefield, along with Marie DeGrand, with shots in that first half, but nothing to show for it yet. Ohio had a goal called back. Natalie Lafleur scored, but then there was a foot foul called earlier on Noah Desmarais. So it is 1-0 Kent State at the half. When we come back, we'll have more halftime for you here in Athens. This is Mid-American Conference Field Hockey on ESPN+. Welcome back to Athens, Ohio. Kent State with a 1-0 lead over the Ohio Bobcats. The Golden Flashes, led by first-year head coach Heather Hefner, taking over this job, coming over from Liberty University, where she was an assistant coach. And Heather Hefner, the first-year head coach for Kent State, has implemented a puzzle piece team bonding activity before every single game. Coach Hefner told me that she came up with this herself, where before every game, we put puzzle pieces together, and it makes up the 50 years of field hockey. This happens to be the 50th varsity season of Kent State field hockey. So as you can see, there's the puzzle pieces coming together before every single game. And Coach told me that everyone gets a puzzle piece, and at the beginning of the year, each person came up with one word to answer this question: what can we count on you to bring every day, regardless of your role? And Coach Hefner went on to say, you can't have one puzzle piece missing because it's frustrating to look at. Same thing when everything is not connected on the field. It's tough and it becomes frustrating. So that's a really cool thing that Coach Hefner has implemented into her team. Every single game, they put that puzzle together before they take the field, and it kind of just goes to show you that every role on the team matters. And so Really cool stuff from Heather Hefner in her first season as head coach. MAC standings presented by Conn's Potato Chips. As you can see, it is very interesting at the top. The Mid-American Conference standings, those top 3 teams, James Madison, App State, and Miami, have all clinched already, and they will play in the conference tournament, which starts in early November. So the other teams still yet to be decided right now. Kent State, Ball State, and Ohio. Those would be the bottom 3 teams in the MAC tournament. There are 6 total teams that make the MAC tournament in 2024, different from years past where only the top 4 teams got into the MAC tournament. So should be very interesting down the stretch. Again, those are the MAC standings presented by Conn's Potato Chips. As we get set to start the second half in just a moment. And we are back at the start of the second half. Kent State leads 1-0 over Ohio thanks to a goal in the final seconds of the first half from Augustina Florio, her 5th goal of the season. Back with Becca Gaddy, I'm Sam Hyman. The 2 teams have switched sides, so Kent State is attacking the left side, Ohio in the green and white uniforms attacking the right side. Kent State with 4 shots on goal to Ohio's 2, but this feels like a game where it should be tied right now given how many opportunities Ohio has had and their goal that they at the moment had in the first half got called off. Natalie LaFleur scored, and they were the ones that thought they had the first lead, but it got called back. So where we sit, 1-0 Kent State.
Yeah, I mean, there was that first half was very even in the play, the possession. I think that Kent State had a couple better opportunities and maybe a couple more opportunities. And
do you feel like they possessed the ball more, or was it even in terms of possession?
I think it was pretty even, maybe leaning a little bit towards Kent State. I think that the quality of possession is really what needs to improve right now is, you know, what are you doing with the ball? Are you being intentional where you're putting it, who you're putting it to? How many times are you turning it over? You know, and that comes in not just the people who are handling the ball and passing, but the people who are on the receiving end. Are they cutting into the spots they need to be in to help their teammates and help the ball move up the field? I'm not seeing that. And I think that that's what's hurting is that, you know, and just little mistakes. But it happens. I mean, nobody's perfect.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Here's Bodie Littlefield accelerating into the attacking third. Littlefield, the senior from Oakland, Maine. Near that baseline right now, flicked up towards the top of the circle. Possession awarded back to Kent State.
Kent State's defense did a great job there, the way they converged on Bodie Littlefield, and they didn't give her the option. She didn't have the option to pass. She didn't have the option to dribble. You know, they really trapped her in a spot where she didn't really have much to do with the ball. I think Ohio, there was not enough options for her as well from Ohio. You know, she needed more people running into that circle, or not even running the circle, running outside of her. You know, you don't have to go straight towards the circle. Let's work it around. Let's keep it in that attacking 25 as long as possible.
Arden Goddard Despot to restart for the Golden Flashes. Nice cover there by Sasha DeKotla, preventing that pass back to
Ava Uzo, who has really shifted to primarily playing in the backfield today. When we chatted with head coach Heather Hefner, she said that Ava can play in the midfield and outside back. She's in a center back role right now, it looks like, as Natalie LaFleur tries to take this ball into the attacking third.
Penn State goal scored at 14:59 of the second quarter.
So that goal, by the way, from Kent State, there was a little bit of confusion as to when it was scored. It was literally scored in the final second of the first half. There looked to be a couple of additional seconds left on the clock.
They put themselves in a great position going into the second half. I mean, it totally changed the game. And that's with this kind of competitive atmosphere and how tight this game has been, those might be the few and far options you get in front of the goal. And so while it's not the prettiest goal, it's a goal, and you're happy you're there, and you got that, and the opportunity was capitalized on. So that's definitely important.
This is Ava Uzo, the 2023 MAC Freshman of the Year with an aerial. Augustina Florio, excellent stick work. Made that look really easy. She's got the only goal in this game.
What a great step up right there.
Emily Beitzel creating havoc for the Bobcats.
You know, that's a great step up right there. You know, not even allowing the pass to be made, cutting off that momentum.
That aerial called off.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, Sasha DeKotla tried to track it down, but it's Kent State possession. Swinging it around the back tent. Ava Uzo, nice sidestep to scoop by.
You know what I would love to see, and I think would be very helpful for both teams, is transitioning and switching the field in the midfield, not just the backfield.
Maybrit Dewell causing some issues for Ohio. That was a really great opportunity inside the circle.
Way to clean it up to Ohio's defense, you know. Make sure that opportunity was not capitalized on. But I think that, you know, both teams could utilize, you know, maybe transitioning, switching the field, switching the side the ball's on in the midfield, not just in the back. So as you're moving forward, that provides a lot of issues for your defense. And I think that, you know, both teams have gotten comfortable maybe attacking one side, switching it around, maybe trying to attack the other side. But also involving your defenders in the offense. You know, let's do some give and go passes up the line. Incorporate them.
Kent State is again threatening, and the Golden Flashes will have a penalty corner attempt coming up. So they are looking to build off of the ending of the first half. Kent State will set up a penalty corner.
You know, now that I'm not someone who is in the defensive penalty corners, I love watching them. Before, did not.
Watching, participating,
yes,
there's an obvious
it was
one.
very nerve-wracking. You know, I played post, so really, you're just like, I really don't want to get hit, but I also don't want the ball to get scored. But it's really fun to watch. You know, corners are just so unique to this sport.
Bella Carpenter will insert, the senior from Green Lane, Pennsylvania, playing in her 53rd career game. Augustina Florio shoots, and that sizzles wide. So Ohio stands tall on that attempt.
Going back into, I think what they're trying to argue, so it looked like it hit Beitzel in the leg, and
now another penalty corner attempt.
And I think she was trying to argue that where it hit her, that was not another penalty corner, but the ref disagreed.
Shot wide left.
Yeah,
Great
that's
effort.
a great setup. I think would have been improved on with a little bit more speed to it. You know.
I mean, there's Bella Carpenter, the person that inserted, ended up getting back into the action and took that shot.
You'll see that because it's a back to the inserter kind of play.
And that's design. That didn't just happen sort of by accident.
That's a design because people are so used to you going to your far side tippers, but the inserter's still there. You know, they do more than just send the ball in.
Noah Desmarais into the circle, and Ohio gets a penalty corner attempt coming.
What a great job creating that opportunity. You know, you didn't have a shot. You didn't have this perfect setup in the circle, but you got a foot. And now you've got a scoring opportunity for your team. Let's reset, look at the top of the circle and see what they can do to maybe tie the match up. Back to the inserter.
Yeah.
That it's great. I mean, I've had teams that we've done that, and it throws you off because you don't have a post, you have a trail on that side. So
now we'll see what Ohio does here on this penalty corner attempt. This is their third of the game. Emily Risser will insert for the Bobcats. A new plan. Noah Desmarais could potentially take a crack as it's swung around to Mila Kopp. And Ohio will again prepare for another penalty corner.
You know, that was a good idea there. I think there's maybe a little mishandling of the ball, maybe a little slower, but they were able to get another corner out of it. And sometimes you just have to figure out what's going to work against your defense.
Looks like Ohio has two possible stick stoppers, Bodie Littlefield and Marie DeGrand. Littlefield is the stick stopper here. A nuke plan back to Littlefield. Shoots and scores! Bodie Littlefield ties this up at 1. What a goal, her third of the season.
What a simple way to score, too. I mean, I'm not sure if that was really supposed to be what was happening there. I don't know if it was that Anouk, was it Anouk, right, who had the, she was supposed to take the shot. Let me see.
Anouk was one of the possible hitters, but Bodie was one of the stick stoppers, and then ultimately
I'm just wondering if maybe they didn't see what they wanted to, the initial hitter, and so what they did was take, look behind you, kind of you fall out of that little set play you have. Yeah, so Anouk, she was going to take a shot, I think, and then she didn't have anything. Turned around, Bodie Littlefield was there, ready, did a great job of transitioning from her stick stop position back into her regular, setup. And what a fantastic and simple goal.
And that's the type of goal that Coach Johnstone has talked tirelessly about, especially with us when we spoke to her a couple of days ago. Just let it rip, let it fly. And Bodie Littlefield did just that. What a goal for Bodie.
It's a perfect example of you don't need a backswing. That is, low, hard push pass, the simple, the basics, the fundamentals of field hockey. One of the first skills you learn when you start playing this sport. And being on this level, having the strength you have behind it. And she knew she had about 0.2 seconds to get that shot off. So her shot selection was great and making sure that she just got it on goal. And it went in, and it was a great goal.
Now Kent State trying to counter immediately. And Emma Seeger couldn't quite put it in the back of the net, but Kent State maintains possession. We'll have a free hit at the top of the the attacking third here, or actually to the top of the attacking third. Ava Uzo will restart this for the Golden Flashes. She is got the most goals and assists on this team, 6 goals and 6 assists. That's 6th in the MAC in goals, 4th in the MAC in assists. And sweeps that one in front.
It's a nice idea.
Out.
It's a good sweep, too.
Another opportunity here for Kent State as it went off of Ohio. What a game this is shaping up to be. Kent State scored in the final second of the first half. Augustina Florio off of a tip, and then Ohio off a penalty corner here in the third quarter. Bodie Littlefield, as this is crossed and knocked out. Kent State still possesses. Swinging it around, Uzos. A sophomore from Spain.
And now in a lot of congestion,
Mm.
and Kent State will have a penalty corner. This is now the 4th penalty corner for Kent State. So both teams have 4 penalty corner attempts in this game. And to see Ohio, going back to the Ohio goal, Becca, off of a penalty corner, and Kent State's known for defending penalty corners.
Mhm.
That was an area of focus for the Bobcats. Coach Johnstone said that she thought that we're going to have to score in the open field because Kent State is top 10 nationally in defensive corner percentage.
Well, and I think that goes back to Anook's recognition of what she had in front of her. She didn't have the shot. And instead of forcing it or trying to do something, she turned around to look for who was open. You know, they're not marking the stick stopper after that. They're worried about the girl with the ball and the girls that are, you know, ready to tip the ball in. So great recognition by Anouk. Great, you know, just way to change it up and do what you can to get that ball in the goal. You know, she could have wanted to take that shot herself. You know, everybody wants to be the hero, but finding someone else is a great opportunity and a great option.
Addie Basile runs out of room for the Bobcats there. Addie Basile, pardon me, the freshman from the state of Delaware. Kent State and Ohio battling here in the 3rd quarter.
I feel like we're seeing a little bit different energy from both teams right now.
Definitely. Merla Call carving her way through.
What a great
approaches the
skill
attacking
right
third.
there.
And she's shut down, though, by Kent State. That back line.
You know, I think she could have kept it on her stick a little bit longer there, rather than give up the ball. You know, maybe just take a look. You don't always have to go forward with the ball. So as long as you're keeping it in that attacking half, try to look around. But great stick skills by her. I mean, those are just beautiful.
Mila Kopp to restart for the Bobcats. Sasha DeCotla returns, as well as Natalie LaFleur, the 2 starting forwards for Ohio. Annie Ryan also checks back in for the Bobcats.
Looks like Sasha's playing a little bit in more of a mid position right now.
Yeah, showing a little bit of versatility as that aerial sails past Natalie LaFleur. And this is Arden Goddard Despot. Kent State with possession. And a foul on Ohio. Maya Sarabairus trying to get free.
You know, great. I want to make note of Sophie Vanderwall right there, coming back from up top to play defense right there and add a double team or triple team, whatever you can do, but recognizing that she needs to get back and be under the ball and be that extra pressure. Just want to give, credits to that. That was a good recognition. She could have stayed up top. She could have waited to see if she was going to receive the ball, but she instead helped on defense. So.
Well, yeah, and I'm glad you brought up Sophie, because Sophie Vanderwall, according to Allie Johnstone, is learning and growing each and every day. She has grown so much, according to Coach Johnstone, since she came here, and she's only a freshman and plays harder every single game, which is what you want to see.
Look at this grit by Bodie Littlefield right now.
Yeah, just shielding off defenders and keeping possession.
Mm-hmm.
We've
got some
highlighted
fire
her at the
behind
top.
her, and she wants to make something happen. She's not, they've even the score up, so now the goal is a win.
Exactly. And Bodie Littlefield is one of those players, Coach Johnstone said, is one of the most coachable student athletes we've ever had. And she's all over the field. We've touched on her ability to play up top, in the backfield, in the midfield, and
this is
her
her
mileage
first
is
year.
crazy.
This is her first year not playing with her sister, right?
Yeah, her sister Wesley played at Ohio as well. She's now coaching at American in D.C.
And I can see why her mileage is so high, when they track that during practice and games. But I think we also talked about Allie was being, intentional with the movement, not doing too much and not tiring yourself out and making movements that aren't helpful to the play happening. But I mean, they've got a workhorse, and having that kind of player who'll just go and go and go, it's a great thing to have, and is coachable. I mean, that's what every coach looks for, is someone they can mold into improving as a player in multiple ways.
Less than a minute to play here in this third quarter between the Bobcats and the Golden Flashes. Setting up to be an intriguing fourth quarter here in Athens.
Looking to see if maybe Ohio's, doing a little bit of the 1 minute drill, we call it. And that's keeping the ball in possession, not doing anything unnecessary, and letting the time run out. And then we start back up in the fourth quarter.
And we will do that in just a moment. The Bobcats tie this game up at 1 thanks to Bodie Littlefield's goal off of a penalty corner. 1-1 is the score heading into the fourth between Ohio and Kent State on ESPN+. We'll be back in just a moment from Athens. Start of the fourth quarter here in Athens alongside Becca Gaddy, the former Northeastern field hockey student athlete. I'm Sam Hyman, and the Bobcats, not the only team playing in the Mid-American Conference today. This is actually the only MAC matchup, though, between Ohio and Kent State. Talk about some of the other matchups. Longwood, not an easy game against Liberty right now. Wake Forest and James Madison. James Madison unbeaten in conference play in the MAC, and they're getting a test against Wake Forest, a perennial power in the sport.
Yeah, and actually, Ball State just lost to
Queens.
To Queens OT in OT.
Wow.
So
a lot of fireworks here on a Sunday. That's a bit of a surprise. Queens has struggled a good bit this year. App State, the only team that is idle today.
I know, I'm trying to check on the Wake Forest JMU game, see how that's going.
James Madison, 10-3 overall, 5-0 in conference play in their first season in the MAC. What a way to make a statement in year one. They have looked really sharp and looking to make a noise.
I have to say, if you didn't think that JMU wasn't going to be a competitor or dangerous in this conference, then I have to wonder what JMU team you've been watching the past couple of years, because they've got a veteran coach in Christy Morgan.
Yeah, she's
They've
a
got
legend.
a competitive team who won the CAA in their last year in the conference, took it for the first time that Delaware hadn't won it in years, you know, and has amazing players who have, been on the national level, international level, and I I was excited to see them come into the MAC and see how they would do, and I think they're great competitors for all the other teams in the MAC. And we'll be getting UMass Amherst next year too.
Yeah, and that will make the Mid-American Conference the largest field hockey league in the nation at the D1 level.
Talk about another great, another really talented program. Has done really well in the A10, and so I'm excited to see the landscape of the MAC change.
It's
It won't be
growing.
it will not be the same team every year because I think
Miami has won it the last 6 years. The last 6 seasons they've won the MAC
I
tournament,
am
and that
not
might
sure
change.
if that will be the same.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's shaping up to be, James Madison, App State, Miami. They've all already clinched a spot in the MAC tournament, as Augustina Florio and Kent State trying to answer back here for the Golden Flashes.
Adding in those, and having those Virginia, North Carolina schools in the MAC adds a different kind of competition because of the recruiting talent that is in those areas. It's different, and we don't see that, playing in Ohio, Michigan, those different places, Indiana. So it's a different kind of play, different kind of competition, and I mean, it's App State, JMU, they're both great. And then the addition of UMass Amherst, it's going to be fun to watch.
Allie Johnstone said at the beginning of the season, once we get UMass to arrive and become the largest league, is that a shot wide from Augustina Florio, an unreal opportunity there. Coach Johnson said, watch out, the MAC truck is coming. This league is getting better and better each and every year, as Kent State has now a penalty corner as we look at this shot attempt from Florio trying to get her second goal of the game.
Yeah, I think she could have taken a little bit more time with that shot.
That was like one-on-one with the goalie.
I think that keeping her, if she kept her feet moving a little bit, and that could have been a much more dangerous situation. But either way, I give my props to Kent State for getting that circle entry and getting a penalty corner out of the opportunity.
And so Emma Rolston, the junior from Pennsylvania, will insert for the Golden Flashes. Coach Hefner said that Emma is on the verge of having a great game. One of these games she's going to make a difference. Here she can possibly do that on this insert. Florio doesn't take it. It's Uzos who shoots, and that sizzles wide.
What a great save by
Lots may have
Ohio's
kicked that.
Lots, like Macy Lots. Fantastic save, direction of it, the speed and power. There was no chance for a second or third opportunity for Kent State on that save. So great job, and way to get it out of the circle and out of the, take a scoring opportunity away from Kent State.
Ava Uzos had a lot of space to take that shot too, and Macy Lots knocking it down. So,
and those are the situations where goalies will want that shot. They that's a communication between your defensive group and your goalie, whether or not they want the shot or not, and who's in the best position to make that save or step into that space. And I can't hear what's being communicated down there in the circle, but no matter what, that was well executed by Ohio's defense and by Macy Lots.
her 5th save of the game, Macy Lots. Definitely one
She's
of the
been
top
challenged.
goalies. She has.
She's been challenged today, not with shots at the top of the circle, but with some really weird kind of scoring opportunities by Kent State, and those are almost harder. They're trickling in, they're bouncing weird. Kent State has been trying to just find any opportunity possible, as well as Ohio. And I mean, Kent State's goal is a perfect example of that. It was not this perfect shot. It was a little deflection, and Lots was in an unfortunate situation of trying to get
Sasha DiCatla in front of the cage. Wow, that was a golden opportunity. Becca, I'm sure we're going to get another look at that, but Natalie LaFleur had a great drive on the baseline and DeCotla was in a spot where the goalie, Liv Jansen, was way off her line, and had Sasha had a clean shot, there would have been no chance for Kent State to stop that.
What was the call on that? Is that
I think there was a foot foul on Ohio.
wow? But you know, you create those situations. You know you can do it. Replicate them. Keep doing that. You know what will work, and eventually the ball will fall.
So in the last couple of minutes, both teams have had golden opportunities. Ava Uzo carving her way through traffic, the 2023
great
MAC
stick
Freshman of the
skills.
Year. Kent State making a sub. Ashlyn Taylor checks into the game for the Golden Flashes. And that soars out. Ohio possession.
You know, compared to the first quarter, both teams have really improved on the amount of circle entries and attacking in the 25. We had maybe one shot each team in the first quarter, and you know, while Kent State's had more shots, technically in statistical,
8
statistically,
to 3 shots on goal.
statistically, Ohio's been more efficient with their opportunities. So it's finding that. But I've definitely seen that improvement from both teams since the beginning. I would like to see Ohio get more opportunities, like Kent State has been increasing theirs.
Yeah, it's pretty wild to think this game is tied at 1. Kent State has 8 shots on goal, and Ohio only has 3. But to your point, Ohio has executed on their small amount of opportunities. And remember, going back to the first half, Natalie LaFleur had a goal that was called off because of a foot foul. Sarah Byru's nifty dribbling.
Yeah, really good stick skills I'm seeing from Kent State.
Now into the attacking circle here. Dangerous spot for Macy Lotz.
Oh, and a missed shot right there. A whiff by a Kent State player. That would have been an ideal situation for Kent State, getting that second opportunity on the goal. But great job by Lotz in the defense for getting that out of there again. They've been challenged today.
It's been a really intense matchup. Coach Johnston said Kent State is relentless. They slide tackle a lot. It's just going to be a tough battle. Those are the exact words that Allie told us. And that word relentless, I think both teams have been relentless today. Nice job by Sophie Vanderwall. Tracks that down, attacks the baseline. Nothing doing. And Lauren
Great defense
Conroy.
by Kent State right there.
That was Lauren Conroy, who is the backbone of Kent State's defense.
Yeah, great, calm, got the ball in her stick. And sometimes, and you'll see this, and I think we just saw that with her, is that it's better sometimes to dribble it out of the circle than pass it out. You're not just giving it back to the other team. So sometimes in college, I remember our coaches would tell us, dribble the ball out, dribble the ball out. You can't keep going back and forth, back and forth. So just changing how you're maintaining your possession and getting it out of the circle as a defender.
Emma Rolston with a great takeaway. She's carving into the circle. Rolston shoots, saved by Lotz. Glove save from Macy Lotz.
Amazing glove save right there. She was ready for that.
Wow, and she's fired up as she protects this 1-1 game.
Great job by Macy Lotz right there. That was, you don't see glove saves like on those kind of plays right there, and she was almost in a 1v1.
Here it is again.
Amazing
Wow.
glove save. I love to see those kind of things by the goalkeepers. Maybe because my whole life has been surrounded by goalkeepers in field hockey. My aunt played at Old Dominion University, and some of my closest friends in college and in high school were goalkeepers on my team. Maybe it's also being a defender. You're with your goalkeeper a lot. But I love to see that from them, and I love to see them get hyped up and excited.
That's her 7th save of this game. Macy Lotz has got a 71% save percentage coming into this game.
She stopped some weird balls too, like trickling in, and we have to give Ohio's defense some credit here because they've been challenged.
Yeah, they're hanging on right now as Kent State has 10 shots on goal to Ohio's 3. But we're tied at 1 in the final couple of minutes of this fourth quarter.
I think the momentum is slightly in Kent State's favor right now. I think that they are doing more with the ball, and they are taking, they're stronger on the ball right now. They're doing more intentional, making more intentional plays, making more passes. Some of these circle entries have been very good opportunities for them. But I think that if Ohio can find 1 or 2 opportunities, they could take this win. I think it's just when the next goal will fall, and the goalies can't stop everything. And Lotz has had a great game. But will her team help her by producing on offense?
And a foul on Ohio. Quickly on the restart, Ava Uzos, as we're inside 3 minutes to play in this fourth quarter.
I'm a strong believer that defense wins games, but your defense can also only do so much if you're not producing on offense. And that is, what I'm kind of seeing with Ohio is that their defense is working very hard, from Lotz to Kopp to Anook to everyone in the back, to Beitzel, and everybody who's been in the backfield today has done a really great job, being calm and collected and preventing a lot of opportunities by Kent State. But Ohio needs to produce on offense. It needs to be balanced because they can only do so much.
Quick restart on the free hit. Sasha DeKotla near that baseline. And again, Ohio keeps possession here.
Step by step. Little inch in and inch forward. Try to get in that circle to make something happen, whether it's a corner, a shot, a rebound, something. Because your best score, you can only score in the circle.
Yeah.
And whether it's like even getting a foot, getting another penalty corner opportunity.
Marie DeGrand off this free hit here on the baseline with about 90 seconds and change in regulation, all tied at 1. DeGrand still with it. Slots it through, and DeKotla not able to track it down. Kent State possession.
What a great dish right there. Taking it on a line outside that circle and trying to infiltrate as much as possible. It's hard. You've got the defenders right there. They don't want you in there.
Will we get any fireworks at the end of regulation? Last year, it was Sasha DeKotla who scored in the 59th minute. Here comes Kent State. Sophia Livingston on the baseline in front. Nothing doing now up top. Here's a shot, and off the top bar.
Great save.
Lotz got a piece of it.
Mila Kopp did something right there that I want to point out as a defender, and that is she made the decision. She had 2 decisions: go towards the ball carrier or follow her man that was behind her, the player that was in the circle. And she chose to follow the player, and it was just such a great decision by her because there was, if she had stepped forward to that player, there's an open player behind her. All that player had to do was pass it to her. And so I just want to give credit to her patience and, knowing that somebody was going to put pressure on that ball carrier. Just a great decision maker in that situation, and definitely contributed to no goal being scored there.
And here's another look at that previous sequence that is currently under further review right now. It went down as a shot from Bella Carpenter, and Macy Lotz credited with her 8th save of this game. But it is under further review, and such a big moment here with this being
the final minute of regulation, all tied at 1. If we remain tied at 1, we'll go into sudden death, 2 sudden death periods. I'm wondering what they exactly are reviewing right now. But there wasn't a goal, so.
I'm looking to see if maybe they're looking for a penalty corner.
If we remain tied, we'll have the first sudden death victory period that will be 10 minutes long as we take another look at that previous sequence.
And if we head into this overtime, this is probably one of the things that makes this sport so unique, is how they handle overtime and what they do and how it's set up. No other sport does this.
Are they checking to see if part of the ball went in? There's no way.
No, I don't think it's a goal. I think it's a change in who the call is for. I think maybe Kent State is looking for a penalty corner. Or some sort of possession.
The ball bounced off of the crossbar. It did not go in.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're looking for. Depends on if it's in the inside of the crossbar, but.
And trying to read body language right now, it's easier said than done, but the officials are explaining something to Allie Johnstone. And then now Heather Hefner. Long hit coming for Kent State.
I think they were trying to decide if it was coming out or a long hit. So who was going to have possession of the ball in these last couple seconds?
All right, so Kent State with an opportunity here in the final minute of regulation to make some magic.
This is where Ohio needs to do what Allie Johnson was saying, be disciplined.
This ball slips into the circle. Emma Rolston recovers it momentarily, but it's Ohio possession. Great job by the Bobcats. Here's an aerial sent to the near sideline for Noah Desmarais, but it sails out. So Kent State has to hurry if they're going to make any sort of threat here. Nice stop from Noah Desmarais, a stick stop.
Great job by her. No,
and
she's
that's
working
going to do it. Regulation has come to a close, and we're tied at 1, so we will have overtime. A 10-minute first sudden death victory period coming up right after this. 5 minutes to regroup, and we'll take a quick break and come back. Overtime on the horizon, sudden death between the Bobcats and the Golden Flashes on ESPN+. Start of overtime period number 1. Sudden death, Ohio and Kent State. Back
This
with
will be
Becca Gaddy.
fun.
I'm Sam Hyman. Yeah, here we go.
And I say it'll be fun because I'm not playing in it. You know, it's nice to not be the one playing in the 7v7
Yes,
overtime.
exactly.
I will say that. My mom actually says this is one of her favorite things about field hockey, but she's never played it. So it is exhausting. But it's unique, and I think it makes the sport even more interesting to watch.
So sudden victory, which means first team that scores wins. Pretty simple. Up to 2 10-minute periods. So if we don't have a goal in the first 10 minutes, we'll have another sudden death overtime period, and then
Shootouts.
we'll have shootouts if we get to that point. But the big thing here is we go from 11v11 to 7-on-7. How does that change the dynamic of what's going to transpire on the field?
Smarter, not harder, in that, you have to remember that if you lose the possession of the ball and you're, say, the back in this, and you're attacking 50, you're making a run all the way back. And it's exhausting, and, you're going to have subs coming in. That's great. But you've got less people to work with, and it's a whole different thing. You're creating more space. And typically when you play 7v7 in practice, you're playing in a smaller space. So it's utilizing the space that is opening up with the less players on the field and making the ball do the work. That's what you need to do. And, utilize the exhaustion of the other team. Be intentional. So this will be interesting. I haven't watched an overtime in a while, and but I remember playing in it and practicing it. It's exhausting, and as a defender, it's stressful.
Yeah.
Because you have to help on offense in this. You should be helping on offense in all parts of the game, but really with only 6 field players, you really need to help on offense. You need to be an option, but you also need to make sure that you're ready for the sprint back in case of a fast break. So,
Well, here are some of the moments from this game so far. Definitely interesting. Augustina Florio got the party started for Kent State. She scored the first goal of this game, the first and only goal for Kent State. And meanwhile, Ohio scoring in the second half to tie things up at 1, thanks to a brilliant goal off a penalty corner from Bodie Littlefield, who was the stick stopper on the penalty corner. And now we get set for 7v7 sudden death overtime, the first 10-minute session. It's Sasha DiCatla who gets the action going for the Bobcats. Natalie LaFleur is also up top along with Bodie Littlefield. Anouk Plan, no surprise to see her out there. Merla Call and Emily Beitzel, along with Macy Lotz, who has been a brick wall in cage with 8 saves. Here's Emma Rolston.
great passing by Kent State right there.
Yeah, quickly making a bit of a statement. Emma Rolston up front along with Augustina Florio, Ava Uzos, and number 21, Bella Carpenter, part of that top attack.
What you really need to find is what are the new open spaces right there. That's a great way to move up the field, is finding that pocket. So there's so many new spaces open on the field now that there's 6 field players. And where can you break their press in ways that you couldn't before? Where can you make the ball do the work?
Nice cutback by Natalie LaFleur.
What a great touch right there.
Littlefield trying to get a shot off in the
Take a
circle.
shot.
She shoots, and that sails high.
But that's going to be an Ohio ball. So great job by Bodie Littlefield there. Great touch to get that into the circle to her. And way to be ready.
Bobcats will reset. Ohio
won a double overtime game earlier this season against Michigan State.
That was a big win for them.
Huge win, yeah, on the road.
And it's good to have that under your belt, knowing you've played one of these already. You've not just in practice, but you've done real life, like real time overtime play.
Here's a nuke plan.
Great
Slots
feed
it
in
ahead,
there.
just out of reach of Sasha DeKotla. But yeah, good idea.
You know, both teams have to be careful of not just throwing the ball away. You know, this gets exhausting, this overtime. You're covering so much space, and you're having to step into a different role on defense because there's not as many people. And so you really want to be smart with it.
Here's Bodie Littlefield, who's
Look
been
at the
really
speed.
smart. Yeah, accelerating all the way. And Ohio earns a penalty corner.
So they actually do, do they do 3 or 4? I'm trying to remember if they changed the number on corners.
Bodie Littlefield.
What a great job.
She looks exhausted.
She's hungry.
Yeah,
she
she's
wants
still
this
grinding.
win. And you know, sometimes you just have to make that happen. You can spend 10 teams can spend this overtime just passing the ball around, or they could do something like that.
Yeah, she's
and she was
business.
ready for the opportunity. You know, Ohio's been fighting to get into the circle all game, and so just really amazing job by
Natalie
Bodie
LaFleur
Littlefield.
inserts Littlefield for a nuke plan. Deflected.
Great hit, great save.
Kent State tries to counter. This trickles all the way to Ava Uzos, trying to get there. And holy cow, did she score that? Ava Uzos wins the game for Kent State. A backhanded flick in overtime, and the Golden Flashes win 2-1.
That was incredible. She could have let that ball go. That was unbelievable.
Oh my goodness. I wonder if they're going to review this, but holy cow, she got there in time on the baseline.
What
And scores.
amazing effort by her there. But also, what a shot. That shot was parallel with the goal
Yeah,
line.
she somehow reversed course.
What it did is it hit that outside corner and went in.
I
But
mean,
it was
that is
the perfect that is the perfect example
It's under
of
review.
always take the shot though.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
rip that shot. Just like Allie was saying, Allie
Here
Johnson
it is,
was
right
saying.
here. Now that's a goal. Unless if she was out of, like, if her foot was off the
I
baseline
don't
when she
see
took
how that would
shot,
be
but
because of the angle. I mean,
Yeah.
with the angle that it got in,
they're high-fiving and shaking hands here like this is over.
I guess we'll see. I mean,
Yeah, this looks like this is
was an
over.
amazing goal.
It's not going to be overturned.
You don't
Wow.
you don't see a goal like that every day. That's
Number 25, Ava Uzov.
So a 2-1 victory in overtime for Kent State. Ava Uzos with a miraculous goal.
that is the
Oh.
ESPN top 10
Yeah,
play.
that needs to be on ESPN. My goodness. That was insane.
I am so impressed by that. Well, I mean, while the shot itself is just unbelievable, it's the fact that she didn't just let the ball go out, and she's probably exhausted. We're in sudden death, sudden victory, overtime, and she rips that shot, has no idea if it's going to go in. And, that's just a perfect example of always rip the shot. Never stop shooting. And, I have to give a shout out to Macy Lotz as well. She
battled.
had 8 saves, and that's a hard, and also that is a hard shot to, she's following the ball out. She's ready for the ball to go out. That's a hard shot to save. And the entire
Wow.
team, Both teams fought so hard today, and I think they accomplished some of the goals that they had going into this game.
Heartbreaking loss for the Bobcats as well. They absolutely battled. We talked about Macy Lotz. Bodie Littlefield had an unbelievable game, but that does it for us here at Ohio University. Kent State, Ava Uzos, the hero, tracks down a ball towards the baseline and somehow miraculously whips it in the back corner of the cage. And that does it for us here today at Pruitt Field. For our outstanding crew led by Jordan Bowes and my broadcast partner, Becca Gaddy, I'm Sam Hyman saying so long from Ohio University. Once again, your final score, Kent State wins 2-1 in overtime on a sensational goal by Ava Uzos. Thanks so much for watching and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. This has been a presentation of Mid-American Conference Field Hockey on ESPN+.